Hola, Tita Verduzco, the Hood River Latino Network. And I am so excited to introduce to you Krista Hoyt from Twin Oaks Trails. This video is going to be super exciting because she is going to share some of the most important and fond memories of the work that you do building trails. Welcome. Thank you for joining us here in this video.
Well, thank you so much for having us. This is very exciting.
Awesome. So let's just hit it off and let us know why the trail building and family, teamwork, how this all is so important and dear to your heart.
Well, it started out with my brothers-in-law, my husband. We all wanted to figure out how we could work together. And this was about 1977.
Okay.
And we were like, how can we do this? How can we be with our friends, be together? And then also what it turned into is we were also able to have a lot of control's not exactly the right word, but it sort of is like by being independent contractors, we were able to call the shots a lot more than a lot of projects.
Be able to manage your own time.
We could manage our own time. And so we started out, we learned a lot about teamwork over the years and how to work with family, how to get along with each other. And there's something about doing side-by-side work when you're doing like a physical thing, and you're also doing something that's complex. So you're doing complex projects. We started out, everything was complex. We didn't know how to do anything.
So you're learning as you're going.
Very much so. And we were lucky that we had some really great inspectors and people that would share with us how to do what we were doing.
Knowledge. So this is where the team building comes in, but you're still sharing with your family. And
Yep. And we learned how, like when you're in the woods, and at that time in the 70s and 80s, you didn't have cell phones or satellite phones or, any movies or any of that, no distractions. You had to figure out how to get along with each other.
awesome.
It took us, a few bumps along the way, but we learned a lot about teamwork and how to communicate and how to create meaningful actions that would be part of the time that we spent with each other and with family and
Community.
So
along those lines, what besides, the trails providing something recreational, what do you think they provide for people as well as just besides recreation? How do they affect humans?
They're huge as far as, there's a whole huge public health component of mental health, of exercising and there's something about when I leave the pavement and cars and all that stuff and then come out where I'm out in the woods, there's something here, there's an essence here that is so healthy and healing.
Right, they talk about how you should hug a tree all the time and ground yourself, right?
Well, I was kind of thinking more like, when I used to hear about aromatherapy, I thought, well, that's a bunch of bunk. I'm a scientist, I'm a botanist, and I thought that's kind of funky. But I'm really concerned about the poison oak too. And there's a lot of, everything has a scent to it, and there's something about being here rather than on asphalt that is healing and wholesome, and all of our cultures come from places that we're connected to the land. Without the land, without being connected to the land, we're dead.
Right. Along these lines, our conversations that we've had behind the camera, as you mentioned, and in your other videos, you've mentioned you were on the trails right after you had your son, Avery. You want to share a little bit of that with us?
Well, our son was born in 1983, and Daryl had cancer operations, so it took us a little while to figure out how to do it. And then we figured out how to do it, and we were like, oh my goodness, this worked. We're going to have a baby right in the middle of trail season in August. And so we were here at the time and thought that we would have the baby here. But a month before he was due, we ended up going up to Mount Vernon Washington, and then I stayed with my sister-in-law out of Bellingham, on the east side of Bellingham. And her husband and she also worked on the trails, and they brought their 3 little daughters out there at different times. But Avery, if he was going to get to be with his daddy, I had to take him to the woods.
Right. Do you think you mentioned that you had a C-section?
Yeah.
And it's like 16 days or 2 weeks
Yeah.
right after you started. Do you think the woods helped you heal? As usually they tell us, I mean, stay home 6 weeks, don't do anything.
Right.
Yeah, and here you are,
Right.
walking trails with a baby.
Well, I really love to exercise, and so right after he was born, because I wasn't here, I lived out in Snowdon at that time. Because I wasn't here, I didn't have any chores. My sister-in-law fed me, my mother fed me.
Oh, that's so
And
beautiful.
so I spent time just walking, all the time walking, and having this little baby and a little snuggly on my, so I spent those 16 days walking and getting stronger. And part of it was because I loved hiking and loved trails. So, yeah, and then that trail was not easy. It was about 3 miles up to it's almost a 6,000 foot pass. It's about a 3,200 foot climb.
Oh, wow.
And
you're impressive.
I know, now I can hardly walk. But I got up there and then down to the camp. It was about another 5 miles from there. And then I did get a little bit sick, and I thought, uh-oh, all those people who thought I shouldn't come up here,
They were right.
Uh-oh, am I going to have to get helicoptered out? But I just stopped doing all this stuff, I was trying to work on the camp, I was trying to work on the trail. I just stopped all that stuff and just took care of the baby. And it was really turned into a really special time.
Thank you for sharing that story. Those sometimes are really personal, but it's good to hear that the woods had something to do perhaps with the healing process as well.
It did, and the whole time. I mean, and we would get to, and there is a kind of because it's very hard work, and it's cold, and the mosquitoes are biting. We're getting a little sense of that today, but when it's raining and the biting flies or being active, it's hard to always keep very optimistic. And so we had to figure out ways to somehow get people to support each other and take care of each other and make sure they took breaks. And the one thing I really liked too was like this one guy that we dearly loved. He died way too early, but he said, "Oh, I'm just brawn. All I am is just brawn. You don't want." And I said, "No, we need your brain because we need safety. We need safety out here. We want people to work and to, make sure that if anything you see that doesn't look safe, we'll stop the operation and talk about it." And empowered everybody. We tried
safety first.
Figure out how to empower people. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. When I got here, what's Luis's last name?
Castañeda.
Okay. When I got here, I met this gentleman, Luis Castañeda.
Yes.
Do you want to share a little bit about who Luis is with us?
Oh gosh, he's an amazing man. He came here, it must have been about 06 or something. And he had heard that my husband was a welder. Well, I think they met through, have you ever met Sarush Kermani? Do you know he had US Auto Care? Do you know Sarush? His daughter has the NK Studios and all the dancing and dancing.
Okay, we know NK Studios.
Okay.
Yes, we do. See.
Yeah, so my husband built some of if you look at the steel that's there, he put some of the steel up for the signs there.
Okay.
So anyway, Sarush was building something, and Luis was there, and I think Daryl met him, and then he heard that Daryl did welding, so he came here to learn welding, and then he stayed ever since.
those relationships, right? They go a long way. You know how it rolls.
I know how it rolls.
Well, thank you so much. I love it. Thank you
Thanks for
your contributions and support to our organization.
Well, the other thing that's been really big in my life has been a study of oppression. And so by having our own company, we also got to play with the power structure and stuff. And so it was really neat to be able to say, no, Luis, no, Alfredo, no, Laura, you guys are as important as anybody else here. You deserve to be paid well. You deserve to, have a voice here. And I'm just so grateful for that stuff.
Well, we are thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful for that, and been able to build relationships and family relationships for a long time. So that's a really big part of who we are and what we still do.
A little piece at a time, we change lives.
A little piece at a time. That's right. Yeah, that's great.
All right, we're here with Avery Hoyt. Is that right?
Yes.
And you told me you want me to call you, or people call you Avo?
Avo or Avery is fine, but yeah, Avo is short for avocado. So
okay, I love it. Avo. All right, you want to share what's behind these walls right here with us?
Yeah, so my parents purchased land here in 1986, 1985. And so the building we're standing in was the second or third building that was started.
All right.
And so it's what you see here, this used to be all gravel floor, and you could see up to the roof line.
Was its purpose always like a shop, or?
It was more like a storage shed, and kind of like a garage, so you park a car and different things in here.
Okay. Cool.
But it's evolved over the years, and now it's acting as a studio. We also have our wood shop space in here.
All right.
And so there's different combo of different tools, and then kind of projects in process.
You're part of the Gorge Artists too, as well?
That's right. Yeah, we did that for the first time this year, which was really fun to be a part of that. It was just amazing.
It's pretty spectacular. I mean, amazing work that I'm observing here. But
I was blown away with the group involved in this, and then the folks that put it out. It was just a real undertaking,
Awesome.
And so I think last year they had like 4,000 people come through.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the numbers were this time, but it was really cool. It was such a privilege to be a part of that. So there's I don't know if you want to go piece by piece or
it's up to you. Just if you want to share what the wood is here.
Yeah. So there's a range of things that I'm really inspired by, and you'll see that throughout our walk here. So I really like old things that have been slated for the garbage dump, that kind of thing, and trying to imagine like their next purpose, the next chapter, and potentially like multiple chapters, so you like create something that could be around for generations. And so this has aspects of that. I don't know exactly what it'll be yet. It's a cherry burl.
Okay. A cherry burl.
And initially when I saw it in the photo, a friend of mine gave it to me. I thought it was more dense, and then you could maybe spin it and make on a turning with like a lathe and make a vase or something. But it's really light, and relatively light.
Very light.
So I'd be worried about it breaking and kind of disintegrating if you did anything crazy. So.
And then you have some bowls over it. What rocks?
Yeah. So actually, a part of this, I can put this up here. A part of our space. So we've built trails from 1978 to 2023. Then the last couple years have been evolving the business to a more stationary business, so I can be more at home. I've spent a lot of time on the road.
Building trails all over.
40 years of my life.
The Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I mean, since you were born.
Right.
I love it. It's quite the story.
So the evolution of the thing is both myself, but I also really want to highlight other people. And so these bowls, actually, my neighbor made these.
Okay.
And so the process of turning this space into like an art gallery of sorts, an event space,
a community art gallery
thing. Exactly. So it's not just me highlighted here, and that really represents our business. Our business has been largely team and group based.
That's what your mom shared with us. How it's just family, community, and building together. And so we could spend time together with our friends while we're working, but still having a great time.
Totally. It's a critical element of all of the projects that we've done. It's a critical element.
It's such a beautiful, the focus of it in general is just community is the amazing part of all this.
It really helps when you're like lifting something heavy, both metaphorically and physically. It really helps if there's multiple people lifting the same thing.
Yes, that's right.
You know?
I love it.
So in here, we have a collection of different woods. And I really like reclaimed things. So it's kind of in theme with what we were talking about here. So this is some wood I got yesterday at a, they are Gobi Walnut, just south of Portland.
Okay.
So they get wood that has been either dead or dying, and this is some pieces there too. That's right.
I love this
so
color.
This is black walnut here, and this is oak. And so I got these yesterday, kind of, you know, just to see what kinds of legs and different things I could put on them.
But I can envision a beautiful little table there.
You know, yeah, that's exactly right. That table, you know, like these might work as a seat. You know, but yeah, definitely. So, and then this is pine that I got from the neighbors. This stuff here. We call it blue pine. These birdhouses I got from a friend who didn't have a use for them. They were using them in a youth program, and so I just got them the other day, and so I'm debating. You know, do you leave them as is, you know, or do you style them in some sort of way? And it's really fun. I love. You have a problem, you know, some sort of thing, and then you like, you know,
make it into something great.
Yeah, or like reimagine somebody else's dream, you know, and kind of give it, something great. Like you kind of lift it to something else.
Yes, I mean,
so
there's potential,
you know,
in this little birdhouse for sure. Yeah,
and it's super, like the technical construction of that is super easy, and you know, relatively, and I could sell just this piece, you know. But anyways, yeah, it's a fun kind of process. And there's stories with a lot of the wood that you see in here.
We'll have to have a second part to share. Like,
which is a lot
here's what I got today. We'll come back in a couple months and say, hey, this is what we built.
I love things with stories. So, and all this stuff here, I just got from including this chair, from a neighbor's house, or excuse me, my cousin's 100-year-old farmhouse in Chehalis.
Okay.
Sorry, but
look at that.
But anyways, I was looking at this, and it totally floored me how it, like, you know, and then you can carry it. It's from the 50s or 60s.
I know, we've made things so complicated now.
So I was thinking, you know, do I reimagine this as like a, you know, this by itself is great. It's broken here, so it needs a little thing, but do you put like aluminum or metal on the side and put cedar as the seat? So you just kind of copy the frame, but you add different materials and that kind of thing. So
you customize it, right?
Yeah, you kind of give it a little modern spin, a little bit.
Touch.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just I love like that kind of creativity where things are like pretty expansive and, you know.
Beautiful.
And so there's a range of things in here. Just let me know if you have questions as we're kind of.
We're just wanting to share the history of the Hoyt family, you know. And at first you just see the twin trails, you know. And so, but there's so much more here. So we're so thankful that you are sharing your work and
happy to do it.
How you guys work in community.
There's some stories, like my name. I have to blow it off a little bit, but it says Avery 1986, and this is my signature here.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can kind of see it through the dirt there. But yeah, this is me at 3, basically. Either my mom or dad wrote that in there.
That's where it started all.
So this was our first house where we stayed.
So this was actually the first home you got built.
So, but it was a shop/house. And so my dad would be grinding on this bench here, and my mom and I were here on the couch, you know, by the fireplace or whatever, you know, reading or so. But yeah, no, it's a fun experience being able to work in this space because it has so many memories, you know.
Yeah.
This is a plasma table. We have a forge here, so we can shape metal. These are some examples here.
Oh wow.
So like that's after it goes in the forge. This is
what's a forge for us that
so a forge is a receptacle, a container that you heat up to like 1600 degrees, I think. It's like an oven, exactly. And it heats up metal
so
such
it's this
that
one right there, that
this
little
thing here. It's a propane-based one. They also have like a coal-fired one. There's probably different, maybe a gas-fired thing. And so you heat this so it gets cherry red, and then you put it on the anvil here under the blue light there, and then you shape it so it
to whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean you can cut out shapes, which is a lot of fun because there's an endless amount of shapes that you can cut out. And then you can also do things from scratch. And I don't have great examples.
Well,
right
maybe
in front
we'll
of me.
come one day when you're actually doing it.
Well, that's what I was wondering if I should start this today, but we could totally do it another time.
Yeah, we could come and do a second part of it. It would be amazing.
And there's a lot of memories on the wall. So like
I was noticing that, like all the,
yeah.
you know, the bridge building.
Yeah,
and
this is the one my mom was talking about with Luis, and I was somewhere in that picture, you know. And, that was in 2009. And then this is the completed bridge over here. This thing here. So
you talk about this bridge in your video as well, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. All your work is.
So if you have questions or need more more digital things, we can send pictures of stuff so you can see. This picture up here is pretty iconic. That's my uncle, my dad in the yellow hat, my aunt, and then my other uncle. So 3 brothers, and then my mom took the picture. 1978.
Wow,
so
it's such a great picture for being that old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about as old as I am.
Just that I blink, right?
Yes, we were just born, Avery.
So,
well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you sharing all your treasures and your talents with the community.
Yeah, happy to do it.
And we hope the Latino community really comes and explores.
Everyone's invited. We're happy to have people. So.
All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ayer tuvimos unas conversaciones maravillosas con Krista y Avery Hoyt aquí de Twin Oaks Trails. Y durante las entrevistas, ellos nos indicaron que Luis Castañeda es una parte integral de su trabajo que han hecho con los senderos y aquí con Twin Oaks Trail. Así que les introduzco a nuestro amigo ahora, ya eres mi amigo, ¿verdad? Sí. Luis Castañeda, y que nos cuente un poquito de su historia y trayectoria aquí con la familia Hoyt.
Bueno, pues yo con ellos tengo trabajando ya como desde el 2012.
Desde el 2012. Vamos a hablar un poquito acerca de Luis, el inmigrante, ¿verdad? Okay. ¿Cuándo te viniste a los Estados Unidos?
Yo me vine en el 1983.
Y estábamos platicando y eres ¿de dónde eres?
Soy
¿De qué parte de México?
Del municipio de Tolimán, Jalisco. Okay, del rodeo, bueno. Pues precisamente del rodeo.
Un saludo a todos los jaliscienses de ahí de Tolimán, sí, ¿verdad? Qué bien, qué padre. Entonces, y dices en el 2012 iniciaste trabajando con Daryl.
Sí, en el 2012 empecé a trabajar con él como part-time.
Ok, ¿y qué es lo que empezaste a hacer
me empezó a enseñar, yo no sabía, por entonces no sabía lo de soldadura. Entonces me empezó a entrenar a hacer soldadura. Lo que es trabajar con metal, cortar y a fabricar y todo eso. Y al final soldar también.
¿Qué es lo que estabas fabricando? A mí, claro que fue metal, pero...
Sí, hacíamos desde pasamanos, handrails que se necesitaban para los trabajos de ellos. Y después empecé yo a hacer lo que hacían también de las prensas de hierbas naturales. Que eran para prensar hierbas.
Me mencionaste hace rato que iniciaste haciendo los senderos, los bridges, los trails.
Sí, cuando no había mucho trabajo aquí en el taller, así les ayudaba también en los trails. Haciendo los trails.
¿Cuántos años tienes ya trabajando para la familia Hoyt?
Para ellos tengo, creo que son, yo pienso que son como 15 20 años.
¿Qué es la parte que te gusta más de aquí?
Me gusta todo lo que es fabricar, me llama mucho la atención la fabricación, ya sea construcción, como construyendo los puentes que construimos en los senderos. Y cosas así que hacíamos de construcción.
Muy bien, ¿quieres hablarme un poquito más acerca de estas prensas y para qué se utilizan?
Sí, las prensas...
¿Está una por aquí, quizás?
No, no tengo por aquí ahorita. Pero son para prensar, ya sea si la gente tiene algún producto que hacer de alguna hierba natural, entonces se la usan para... Hacen algún producto y eso y lo ponen al mercado, ¿ves? Porque la prensa es simplemente la máquina
que utilizan para hacer las hierbas.
Hacer las hierbas,
básicamente ellos traen las hierbas, las escogen y luego usan esta máquina para sacarle sus aceites y todo.
Claro que sí, las tinturas.
Las tinturas, ok.
Eso. Ok, esta es una caja para una batería, que es para un gate, una puerta.
Okay.
Y como no se pintó, está corroída, tiene mucha corrosión, pero...
está rústica.
Sí, está rústica. Esto es lo que nos gusta, el acabado terminado, así es de que así se queda esto, sin pintar. Pero
mucho talento existe
tapadera,
aquí, ¿eh?
Tapadera y todo ahí.
Y toda la cosa, y tiene para poner su candado.
Sí.
Bueno, tienes un talento maravilloso para trabajar con el metal.
Parte de lo que aprendí con Daryl.
Ok, durante este transcurso de esta entrevista van a ver las fotografías de los puentes que tú trabajaste. Me imagino que hiciste muchas soldaduras en esos puentes de los senderos. Más o menos, ¿cuántos puentes crees que construyeron o que tú participaste en?
Creo que son mínimos, son unos 5 o 6 puentes.
Ok, bastante.
Sí, de los grandes, pues, que recuerdo yo.
Sí, su historia de la construcción de los senderos es intensa en una buena manera. Sí. Pero me encanta ver que un inmigrante ha sido parte de esto, y la historia de la familia Hoyt es que les gusta trabajar en comunidad y hacer que las personas que trabajan como ellos se sientan como familia. Así
exactamente.
Que es lo que más...
Han sido los mejores patrones.
Maravilloso, me encanta escuchar. Son las historias que queremos compartir con ustedes. Finalizamos en este magnífico puente, que es uno de los cuales tú también trabajaste con Daryl y la familia Hoyt. Y cerrar este video dándole gracias a la familia Hoyt por ese amor y cariño que han dado a la comunidad migrante, porque siguen contribuyendo. Nosotros podemos seguir dando ayuda, abogando por el latino, el inmigrante, gracias a donadores como ellos. Así que este espacio está disponible para la comunidad. Ellos lo dice Luis y lo dice Krista. Así que estén al tanto, y en una de esas vengan aquí a White Salmon a darse la vueltecita al Twin Oak Trails, que tiene las puertas de su casa abiertas para ustedes. Muchas gracias, Luis. Un placer convivir un momento. Adiós.
Adiós.